If a wood stove can't hold heat, wastes fuel, or smokes up your space, it's not an upgrade, it's a headache. Today's countdown finds the models that actually heat, stay efficient, and just work when you need them most. In this video, you'll see a hands-on style rundown of 10 wood stoves, from compact camp stoves to serious home heaters, with real-world impressions on heat output, burn time, efficiency, ease of use, and build quality. Stick around to see which one wins on power, efficiency, and everyday practicality. Number 10. StarBlue Camping Rocket Stove. Out on a windy ridge, the StarBlue Camping Rocket Stove gets hot fast with twigs and small splits, and the cross-stand grate keeps pans stable enough to simmer without a balancing act. The wide feed port makes it easy to shove in longer sticks without constant trimming, and the chimney effect focuses flame right under the pot for quick boils. Portability is a plus. Pack dimensions and included carry bag make it simple to toss in a trunk or emergency kit. That said, there are trade-offs noticed during repeated cooks. With heavier cast iron cookware, the narrow footprint can feel top-heavy unless you're on truly level ground. When fully stoked, the metallic body gets scorching to the touch, making glove discipline mandatory around the feed mouth and sides. Ash management is basic. Expect periodic dumps if you're cooking multiple courses back-to-back. Fuel flexibility is the draw. It runs happily on twigs, pine cones, and split kindling, and the rocket draft in dry weather is strong enough to fry bacon in minutes. On damp wood, though, startup patience is required. The design likes dry, pencil-thick fuel to get the signature roar. Once lit with proper kindling, the thermal focus is excellent for efficient, low-fuel cooking in the field. Durability feels decent at this price. Carbon or stainless steel construction with a simple geometry means fewer points of failure. Still, the exterior will scuff and soot quickly, which is normal for rocket stoves, but worth noting if you care about cosmetic wear. Number 9. Lineslife Wood-Burning Camp Stove. Lineslife's packable wood-burning camp stove is a lightweight, flat-pack style cooker that appeals to backpackers who want real flame without the bulk of canister rigs. The slotted panels assemble quickly and create a focused burn chamber that funnels heat to the pot stand, giving a surprisingly quick boil on finger-thick sticks and bark-free kindling. It's the kind of stove that rewards the ritual, collect, snap, feed, cook. However, flat-pack stoves can be fiddly when cold hands and dusk hit at the same time. Panel tabs may need a bit of a lining, and if you try to overfeed with larger chunks, the draw can choke until you thin the fuel. In gusty conditions, stray ash can lift through the top. A low windscreen helps, but adds kit complexity. These are minor gripes for gram counters, but they're noticeable on longer treks. Running it with dry hardwood twigs produces a clean, hot flame with minimal soot, and because there's no pressurized fuel, you're not tethered to canister availability or cost. The weight savings versus cylinder-style camp stoves are significant in a pack, and the breakdown design nests in a small pouch with room to spare for a ferro rod and tinder. Maintenance is straightforward. Shake out ash, wipe soot, and you're done. The thin steel panels will patina, and over time, heat tinting shows at the top edges, but there's no functional impact seen in typical weekend use. With careful feeding and a little attention, it delivers a consistent cooking experience for minimalist setups. Number 8. AVOFOREST Wood Burning Stove. The AVOFOREST portable stove with chimney leans toward hot tent and canvas shelter users, offering a tall flue for draft and smoke evacuation and a broad cooktop that doubles for water boiling and skillet work. With a stainless steel build, it shrugs off weather, resists rust, and cleans up easier than painted steel after a sooty weekend. Assembly is intuitive, sections nest, the chimney seats firmly, and the damper gives decent burn control. In a canvas shelter, the flue height and spark control are make or break. Here, the included stack segments and arrestor deliver a steady draw that keeps the tent clear during morning coffee and late-night fire-ups. Heat output feels strong for the stove's size, especially with seasoned hardwood splits no thicker than a wrist. Simmering is achievable with the damper half closed and a small coal bed. Cooktop practicality stands out. The flat top stays evenly hot behind the firebox center line, and you can slide a pot forward to boil or aft to hold at serving temperature. The chimney sections nest for transport, reducing rattles in the vehicle and simplifying storage. With gloves on, you can break down and cool stage the unit in a manageable sequence without hunting for tiny hardware. What's impressive is reliability over a multi-day trip, consistent draft, predictable coal bed, and fewer flare-ups once you've dialed in split size. The stainless surfaces discolor with heat but don't flake like painted finishes, making cleanup quicker on Sunday breakdowns. Seven, Camp Chef Alpine CS14. The Camp Chef Alpine CS14 is a staple for wall tents and base camps, arriving as a complete kit with a 5-piece nesting pipe, internal grate, spark arrestor, damper, shelves, and adjustable legs, everything needed to run without a separate parts hunt. On test, the roomy cooktop and front damper make it easy to go from boil to bake pan warming without losing control of the flame. Build quality is stout. The stove and pipe bundle weigh in around 74 pounds, which sounds heavy but pays off in stability and thermal inertia once hot. Those side shelves become indispensable as drying racks for gloves and noodles while freeing cooktop real estate. With the 10-foot, 5-inch flue and damper, draw is reliable and predictable, even when feeding chunkier fuel. Adjustable legs are a surprisingly big deal. Uneven ground is the norm in field camps, and leveling the firebox improves both safety and combustion stability. The flat top is genuinely flat and wide, perfect for percolators, skillets, and Dutch ovens. Sliding cookware fore-aft maps to hotter and cooler zones intuitively. The CS14 stores cleverly. Legs, shelves, grate, and pipe nest inside for transport, making a single packed unit that's less awkward than the sum of the parts. In sustained use, the steel seasons well. A quick wire brush and oil keeps rust at bay between trips. The included wire spark arrestor works, though frequent brushouts maintain flow. Six, US Stove Wood Stove. US Stove's freestanding unit in this class prioritizes rugged construction and straightforward operation with a steel body and firebrick lining that handle daily burn cycles. In setup, the firebox lights quickly with a modest kindling structure, and secondary burn kicks in as the box comes to temperature, improving flame quality and reducing visible smoke. For mid-size spaces, heat output feels strong and steady without constant tending. The air control has a usable range that moves you from fast boil to overnight coal keeping, and the glass stays reasonably clean thanks to air wash when you're burning seasoned wood. With 6-inch flue compatibility, install options are common and parts are widely available. The door seal beds in nicely after a few burns and holds tight, preserving draft and efficiency. On daily chores, the ash routine is predictable: rake, scoop, done, and the firebrick lining evens out thermal spikes, which helps avoid hot spots that stress the steel. Handling splits in the 16 to 18-inch range is comfortable, and the box geometry lets you load east-west without snags on the door frame. Over a season, the finish stays cleanest if you avoid overfiring. Run the stove in its optimal range to keep the glass clearer and paint intact. Maintenance is manageable. A mid-season flue check and gasket glance keep performance on spec, and parts support is easy to find. If you want a no-drama, proven format from a major maker, this checks the boxes: dependable heat, simple controls, and serviceable components with broad retail support for accessories and replacement parts. 5. Ashley Hearth AW1820E. As a fireplace insert, the AW1820E transforms an existing masonry box into a real heater with an EPA-certified burn and a solid 69,000 BTU capability. In practice, that means the living room warms quickly, and the included high-speed blower helps push heat deeper into adjacent rooms. The cast iron door with a large ceramic glass panel frames the fire nicely, while the air wash limits soot when you're feeding dry wood. The included surround simplifies installation and cleans up the look, while the spring-loaded adjustment makes seating the unit easier during fitment. It accepts up to 18-inch logs, which is convenient if your cord is cut to standard lengths. With over 75% efficiency reported and modern EPA Step 2 certification, you get both performance and cleaner operation than old, open fireplaces. Daily use is comfortable. The blower's 100 to 150 CFM range moves heat without sounding like a shop fan, and the fire brick lining evens out the burn for long, usable coals. The ash routine is minimal, and the door handle stays cool enough to operate with basic gloves. Over a winter, the viewing glass will haze slightly at low burns, but wipes clean with standard stove glass cleaner. The upgrade you feel most is fuel economy. With proper secondary burn, you're not watching heat disappear up the chimney the way it does with an open hearth. Even on shoulder season fires, the insert holds a cozy baseline without constant feeding. The look is classic, and the fit and finish sit nicely in both rustic and modern rooms. 4. Drolet Escape 1200. The Escape 1200 is Drolet's compact workhorse, ideal for smaller homes, cabins, or tight spaces up to roughly 1,200 square feet. In testing, the 1.55 feet port firebox and up to 5-hour burn keep an evening's heat rolling with modest wood consumption, while the 45,000 BTU output punch belies the unit's footprint. EPA certification at around 1.8 Gres per hour speaks to clean combustion when run hot with seasoned splits. What stands out is how controllable the flame is. The top air deflector and steady secondary burn zone deliver lively flame patterns without blowtorch noise, and the glass air wash keeps the view vivid. The deeper bottom chamber tolerates more ash accumulation, which reduces cleanout frequency on daily use, small quality-of-life detail that adds up over weeks. The 17-inch log compatibility fits common cut lengths and avoids awkward resplitting. The steel top takes pans well, and the heat profile across the top is predictable. Center front hottest, rear lip warm for holding. The unit is certified for mobile home and alcove installations, expanding where it can be safely installed. Efficiency is strong for its class, and the compact size makes the stove easier to position without dominating the room. With a limited lifetime warranty and Canadian build, it lends confidence for long service life with basic maintenance. If your space is modest, but you still want real, steady heat with modern emissions, the Escape 1200 hits the sweet spot on size, control, and cleanliness. 3. Drolet Columbia 2. Columbia 2 steps up to a true medium heater with up to 65,000 BTU output and coverage for spaces up to about 1,800 square feet. In use, it's a classic set the evening and relax stove, up to 7 hours burn time, 18-inch logs, and a well-tuned secondary air system that sustains bright, clean flames once the box is hot. Side panels reduce clearances, and the top air deflector helps push warmth into the room. The steel construction uses a heavy 5/16-inch top and 3/16-inch body with fire brick lining, which evens thermal loads and mitigates overfire risk when users get enthusiastic with the air control. EPA certification at 2.4 grams per hour shows it runs clean for a medium stove, and mobile home alcove approvals expand install options with the proper fresh air kit. Operation is intuitive. Light, bring to temp, ease the air down, and let the secondary tubes do the work. The glass stays clearer at medium burns, and the cast iron door frame seals with confidence after the first few cycles. Heat feels balanced, not spiky, perfect for open living areas that need steady output rather than on-off bursts. Loading is easy over width, and the door opening is generous enough to avoid bark scrapes. Over a season, the baffle and fire bricks hold up well with normal maintenance, and the limited lifetime warranty provides peace of mind. If you want a reliable, medium-sized heater that doesn't demand constant fussing, Columbia 2 is a refined daily driver with strong, practical performance. 2. Drolet HT3000. The HT3000 is a heavy-hitting, extra-large stove built for serious heating, up to 110,000 BTU, and coverage to about 2,700 square feet. In testing with seasoned hardwood, the up to 10-hour burn window is absolutely achievable, and the 3.5 feet creep firebox swallows 22-inch logs loaded either widthwise or depthwise, which makes filling fast and flexible. EPA numbers are excellent for this size, with emissions listed around 1.6 Gres per hour. The build inspires confidence. A 5/16-inch top reinforced with a heat shield, 3/16-inch body, vermiculite baffle, and a robust air wash that keeps the large glass readable deep into a burn. Heat ramp-up is assertive, and once the coal bed is established, the stove holds a steady plateau that radiates through big spaces, even in sub-freezing weather. Controls are responsive with a broad usable range, and the stainless secondary air tubes keep flames active across the top even as you dial down. Mobile home and alcove approvals with proper fresh air kit broaden install scenarios, and clearances are reasonable for an extra-large unit. The limited lifetime warranty underscores its long-term role as a primary heater. Day-to-day, ash management is straightforward with the pedestal drawer option, and the glass cleans up quickly if you do accumulate haze during low and slow burns. The unit's mass and thermal inertia make it forgiving. Small errors in air control don't instantly spike temperatures. If you're replacing an older, wood-hungry beast or heating a large open floor plan, the HT3000 delivers big heat with modern efficiency and quietly takes the crown for value among extra-large boxes. 1. Ashley Hearth AW3200EP. The AW3200EP tops this list because it combines sheer heating power up to 152,000 BTU with EPA Step 2 certification and the practical touches that make daily heating easier. In real use, the included 100 CFM blower spreads heat quickly across a large footprint, and the 3/16-inch steel firebrick-lined box maintains a commanding coal bed. Expect to heat up to roughly 3,200 square feet when conditions and insulation permit. The cast iron feed door with large ceramic glass gives a panoramic fire view, and the brushed nickel handle and pedestal base look clean in both rustic and transitional interiors. Log capacity of 18 to 22 inches means fewer cuts and faster reloads, while the integrated ash drawer with cast iron ash plug makes cleanup painless after extended burns. What seals it at number 1 is the balance of brute force and livability. Quick room warm-up, controlled flames with steady secondary burn, and accessories included from the factory that many competitors sell as add-ons. The stove meets the stringent 2020 EPA guidelines without a catalyst, simplifying maintenance while keeping emissions down. Over long-term use, the big viewing window stays impressively clear at medium burns, and the firebox geometry handles both north-south and east-west loading without hang-ups. The limited lifetime firebox warranty plus common parts availability through major retailers make ownership smoother. If you want maximum heat with modern cleanliness and everyday convenience, the AW3200EP is the heavy hitter that feels effortless to live with, powerful, straightforward, and ready for real winters. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.